Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Adma Sandile. Recently, Professor LUMUMBA was seen addressing the EFF 10th anniversary public lecture in the University of Cape Town. But before his address, we saw the students of Cape Town protesting outside the hall, saying that they cannot address in their university because of his position when it comes to LGBTQ. Now you remember that the students of UCT has announced before the arrival of LUMUMBA a few weeks ago that they are not going to allow him to come to address the EFF public lecture in their university, because he supports the Ugandan law which has been passed, which seeks to punish the LGBTQ community. So you remember that after Uganda has passed the anti-gay law, we saw the EFF marching with other people of the public to the embassy of Uganda in Pretoria to submit to them their opposition or their position when it comes to the anti-gay law which was passed, which has been passed. I think it was in May, if not March, by the Ugandan government. Now, when you listen to the address of PLO LUMUMBA, you will hear that he speaks about one Africa, he speaks about one currency, and since he supports the anti-gay law, it means that it is also his vision that one day Africa can take that position. So it's quite scary, because people of the LGBTQ are recognized. Even the EFF are of the position that these people shouldn't be punished for forming part of that community. And then one thing that he raised was that people undermined the EFF when it was formed, but today everyone's talking about the EFF. Everyone is even scared that the EFF is going to take power, and encouraging them to continue to hold, the government officials accountable and things like that. Now, there are analysts who say that the CIC is a flip-flopper, and them allowing PLO LUMUMBA to continue to come to South Africa to address in their public lecture is another proof that he's a flip-flopper. Now, the question is he really a flip-flopper? We know that a lot of people who don't like the EFF and the EFF leader says that Julius Malema is always two-sided. Now, another thing is that there are analysts who say that it was a repetition, that public lecture was a waste of time and resources, because whatever LUMUMBA was uttering there is the same things which he addressed a few years later in the University of Limpopo, flip-flop campus. So others came in to say, no, it's not the same thing. Even if it's the same thing, it's just that the message never changed. He advocates for Africa, for one Africa, one currency. He advocates for anti-corruption. He's an anti-corruption activist. So he's known for that. But a lot of people found it very controversial for a leader like him to be given a chance or space to address the masses, even though he recently agreed with what the very same political parties doesn't agree upon. So they say the EFF is a flip-flopper. They cannot stand in one position. But we saw the national chair coming to clarify, saying that they are aware of Professor LUMUMBA's position when it comes to the anti-gay law or anti-gay laws, and they still maintain that they don't support that anti-gay law which was passed by Uganda. So the UCT students were even heard making noise even outside that lecture hall and trying to make sure that there is no peace inside, trying to make sure that the address doesn't go as planned. But we saw Professor LUMUMBA finishing his address very well, stating the facts and points that he wanted to state, passing the message that he wanted to pass, and he was gifted with an AFF beret, and he wore it, although after some few minutes after they clapped, they removed it. But he received, that was a sign to show that he supports the AFF, he supports their vision, and he accepts their gift. So this message of one Africa, one currency, and him being an anti-corruption activist, it's true. It has never changed. He has continued to speak and pass one message. And those who do not understand him, or those who expect him to come with new information, they say, no, he is repeating his message. He's not changing. He's saying one and the same thing. So there's no need, to call him a consistent leader. Because even this thing of one Africa, one currency, is something which we might not see. These are the people who do not believe in one Africa, one currency, open borders, and things like that. So my question is that, is the EFF a flip-flopper? Is the EFF ready to govern? Are we ready to be governed by the EFF? Is the CIC ready to be president, or are the South Africans ready to be led by the EFF government? And he also promised that the people will be surprised on the 29th of July. This is the main event which will be held in Soccer City and the FNB Stadium. He says that he's going to surprise us with a lot of high-profile politicians who will be joining the EFF, and whose names will be unveiled on that ceremony. So we are looking forward to that. And we are also wishing them well and wishing them success in this journey in politics, and let their vision be heard, and let people choose a political party of their own. Thank you.